it's very hard to introduce someone who is as epic as Serena. Her philanthropic work with Allstate and Purple Purse are something we're excited to explore. It's a brand new announcement, a brand new relationship. We're also going to get into her inspiration for her philanthropic efforts. She also just not for nothing, just won her 23rd Grand Slam, which if you know what that is, it's pretty unbelievable, and you can watch that whole adventure on her documentary. And then she's got this other thing going on around here in the procreational space that we won't talk about. So I guess, yeah, do you guys want her to come out? I don't know. You don't want me to keep talking? Okay. They're not sorry. They're excited. Okay. Yep, that's good. Aww.
Thank you. Hey, everyone. Wow.
So Serena meets BlogHer 2017, and
This
we are
is so exciting. Yeah.
we are honored. So we'll just kick it off by talking about your philanthropic efforts and your inspiration for getting involved with Purple Purse, which we'll be able to see their film in a little bit. But kind of what led you to decide you wanted to contribute I'm sure you have tons of time on your hands, but how did you decide that was a worthy initiative for you?
Well, if you know anything about me, and I think everyone here should know that I'm really outspoken about things that I believe in, especially causes. My whole life has been really dedicated to really getting involved in helping people and helping women and helping just human rights. And so Purple Purse Foundation deals with financial abuse and domestic violence really spoke to me because the statistics are so high over 99% of domestic abuse victims are actually financially abused.
So interesting.
And who knew that number even existed?
Right.
I mean, 99% of anything is almost impossible.
It's like you are the only thing that does 99%
Right?
of the things you start to do. Yeah, it's rare to win 99% of the time.
I wish, but it's really something that I think people kind of overlook because it's an invisible form of abuse that I think people don't really know about and don't really see. And when they think of abuse, they think of cuts and bruises and stuff like that. But we really should watch the film. I think the film really kind of speaks to itself. It's something Allstate put together with their Purple Purse Foundation, and it really talks about this domestic
situation.
abuse,
Yeah, it teaches us. I didn't know what financial abuse was. I'm not sure if you guys know, but as Serena said, one way to begin to address this problem is awareness, and it's a pretty epic little film. So I guess roll them.
How's it going, man?
Is this someone else's purple bag? Is this purse not yours?
Oh my God.
It's, I think maybe a significant other.
I know, but she's in some trouble.
It's calling her a worthless bitch. Oh boy.
I canceled your card. Good luck paying for a lawyer when you have no money.
Hello?
Hi, I think you found my purse. Can I ask you a huge favor? It's just really imperative that I get my purse back. Is there any way that you can meet me here?
Oh, you're on Milwaukee.
1130 North Milwaukee.
Maybe we can come by and stop it off to you?
So I can probably hop out and give it to her. I hope this person realizes the person they're with is a terrible, terrible person.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, man.
All right, thank you. I will be right back.
All right.
Oh my God, you are so amazing.
Is everything okay?
you so
You're
much.
welcome.
I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate
Don't
it.
worry about it. I really don't want to invite your privacy, but are you okay? There's like some very strong text messages on there.
Saw a lot of the texts that came through, and I hope that everything is okay.
Is there anything I can do? Can you something like, are you sure?
As long as you're good.
Thank you.
So you guys all have on your tables, just so I stand so I don't look like I'm just fidgeting, these beautiful little,
Purse tags.
what's it called, Serena?
You know, they're little purse tags, you know, the purse charms that are really popular nowadays, which is cool. And that's one way to kind of support this awareness is, you know, you can put it on or go to purplepurse.com.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important though, because as you saw the numbers there, they're really staggering.
Right.
Like it's just, and it's, you know, these victims really have no other option if they don't have any financial way to sustain themselves. They end up staying and it keeps repeating itself. Right. So it's really important for us to raise the awareness.
Yep. And it's those subtle things, I think, that don't have awareness, that when you focus and understand the power and control dynamics, which I'm definitely gonna have a conversation with my husband when I get home, because I don't know where our 401k is exactly. And I think it's important for us all to be aware of a big part of BlogHer is empowering women within the area of finance.
Yes.
Like own your money and know where it is. Well, so that's an exciting element of your life.
Super
and
exciting.
I wanted to look at sort of the early days of philanthropic and cause-related stands you've taken. And I know one of your beautiful sisters, Yatunde, passed, and that you were instrumental in driving an effort in Compton to create the Yatunde Price
Resource
Center.
Yeah.
And to begin your fight against violence, which is, I'd love to hear more about.
Yes. Well, that's something myself and actually our whole family started. It's one of my sisters who's here, Venus, and our other sister. We wanted to really be a part of something. Yatunde was the oldest, and she really was that voice and that leader in our family, and she just kind of took care of us, and she was a great person. And unfortunately, she passed, and so, you know, through violence. So we wanted to raise awareness, and we're all from Compton. Sorry. So we wanted to raise awareness, and we opened the Yatunde Price Foundation, which really helps Resource Center. Yatunde Price Resource Center, which is a really good opportunity. So you go there, you get resources and help for things that you need. You need help for.
Yeah, who's going to help the person who loses somebody?
Yeah, like what do you do? You just, it's hard. You go on with your life. And for us, we had wonderful resources. And her kids, through our family, we were able to help.
There were 3 children.
Yes, there's 3 children that my sister left behind. And so through those resources, we were able to help, and they were able to, you know, continue their lives as best as they could. But however, if you think about all the violent things that happen, you know, on a daily basis, it's not everyone has that same support system. So the Resource Center offers lots of different support systems, and it's really a great place. And it's in Compton, so it's really good.
And that's great. You're bringing that support to Compton where you had it. Yeah, let's get it up. And I also just, as we sort of seek into other reading about your life and about, I think you guys called her Tunde, something you said that she'd said that sort of struck me. Well, everything struck me, but she had said, I think your day will come and you will be bright and you're going to shine. And that's the kind of thing that does get me a little misty, because that kind of sisterhood is probably pretty rare. And you have an embarrassment of riches and sisters, and I'm sure you have them. We just met Jill backstage. You've got a lot of sisters. Where's Jill? There she is. But yeah, Jill, you guys don't even know. Watch the documentary. But so if you could talk to us about sisterhood, which is a big part of everything BlogHer does, and I think you've been emblematic of the strength of sisterhood in your life.
Well, sisterhood is so important. I love being a part of this sisterhood right now. I just feel so empowered by you guys. And I think it's great that we can use each other and we can have each other. And I'm, like you said, I'm really rich with my sisterhood because there was 5 of us, all girls.
You're really counting them.
Yeah, I needed a second kind of to remember, but there was 5 of us. Obviously, there's 4 of us now, but we're all really close and we all have this sisterhood. But sisterhood doesn't necessarily have to mean, someone that you're related to.
Right.
And I feel like if you can support your friends and support your local, women
Centers
or organizations
yeah.
and entrepreneurs,
Right.
and that's really one way that you can also be a part of your sisterhood. So, like you were mentioning, it's just so important for that, and I really feel connected to that.
Yeah, and it's such an amazing example, which we won't bang on about for too long, but I think the visibility of your support of women and your ability to be competitor friend, to set a bar really high and then to go hug, I think is something that we all can take a lesson from. And I'm moving over to what we're calling #WinningWomen, which is a new theme we're launching that is you, Serena Williams, are a huge inspiration for. But the idea that women should try ferociously to win. We should not step back and say, I don't want to look bad on camera, or I don't want to literally or figuratively sweat. I don't want to hurt someone's feelings, but that we should try ferociously and consistently to win.
Yeah, and we all are winning Wimbledon. Gosh,
Wimbledon's
around the corner.
What's on your mind?
I'm clearly missing it. Oh man.
Yeah. We're all winning Wimbledon. Every one of us.
No, I'm winning Wimbledon, not you guys.
Listen to that.
Oh,
point. Yeah.
That was a flashback. But it is around the corner. It's like next week.
I got you.
I'm having a little bit of a withdrawal right now. Okay. But yeah, I think winning women is really important.
Women.
Change the subject. Clearly, I can't. But women don't have to always go fit into this mold. Like I never fit into a mold. I was different, and I'm strong, and I'm proud of it. And I feel like, winning is something to be proud of. It can be on the tennis court, it could be at Wimbledon, or it could be in your office.
Yep.
It could be winning that position to go higher. Just keep taking steps to being higher in your company. So, and we shouldn't be afraid to want to be better, but we should want to be the best. And I feel like that's something that could really speak to.
And some people agree.
Yeah. And leave Wimbledon to me.
I got that. And so I think that your unabashed ability to compete and to enjoy it and to say, I'm going to put it all out there is something that we all take. Again, to your point, whether you're a food blogger or a mom and an entrepreneur, that trying to unabashedly win. And if you don't win, cool, but just try your ass off to win. I think that's something that I'm extremely inspired by in your life. And seeing that it might be painful to try that hard, but if you do it, you don't have regrets.
Yeah, the one thing I never want to live with is regrets. So everything I do, I try to do hard, and I try to do as intently as I can for that moment, and I give it my all. And I think, also spread that word to do the same.
Yep, and that's okay. So thank you for setting the bar extremely high for women and for men, for boys too. Wait, tell me, has any boy ever gotten 23 Grand Slams?
No.
Oh.
No, not at all.
No boys. Sorry. I guess that sucks for boys. No boys. Sorry, boys. So that's not like a women's title alone or a women's accomplishment. That's a human accomplishment, and is pretty magical especially for a lot of young girls here as well. And they are inspired and probably going to rush you at some point. Girls, stay back. So speaking of the many hurdles or land masses or mountains that you've that you've surmounted in your life and in your career. You're now, just because there wasn't enough, doing the Grand Slam thing and the mother impending, not to be presumptuous, but I think there might be something happening in the motherhood zone.
I hope so. Or I should be in London.
She's like, because if not, I'm wasting my time right here. With those things, but that's not enough, and nor is extensive philanthropic list of commitments, but you're also now permeating, God bless you, Silicon Valley, which is an area that has been incredibly unreceptive in many cases to women and women of color in particular.
Yes.
So you've joined the board. We heard yesterday from Sheryl Sandberg, whose late husband was the CEO of SurveyMonkey.
SurveyMonkey, yeah.
And you've joined the board of SurveyMonkey, one of the cooler companies that is doing it. Tell us about the decision to do that.
Well, it's funny. That was one of my goals. My goals for the beginning of the year was to be able to take, myself and my entrepreneurship and my philanthropy to a new level. And that was my goal. Was like, I want to be able to sit on a board.
Oh yeah.
And so, that was literally what was my goal. And I was really excited when Sheryl called me and she's like, you know what, have some seats open and we want to, see if we would interview you, of course, to see if we really would love for you to sit on our board. And so I was so excited. I mean, SurveyMonkey is a really great platform to be a part of. And like you said, Silicon Valley is really, really, really not open yet to having a lot of women, having anyone of color, male or female.
Yeah, that's right, male or female.
And that just those two barriers alone are really things that we have to break down. And the fastest growing part of the world in general, and technology, and so it's really important for that. So that was really important for me, and not only just to sit there and just to keep the seat warm, but more or less to really be a voice and to be a part of it and really try to make a change and try to make a difference. And so that's kind of one of the things that I really wanted to do, and it worked out, and I was really, really excited about it.
It's awesome. Yeah. And it's one of the things that a lot of us work in technology and have experienced the lack of people of color, women, leadership. We all know Sheryl because she's defied a lot of odds. And it's very cool. Like, we thank you. So thank you for doing that. And it also gives us the example of women supporting one another, and Sheryl coming to you, you agreeing to do that and wanting to do that, I think buoys the whole, builds up the whole community of women who are trying to move forward. So with that, one of my favorite quotes that I've heard from your material comes from, I think, Billie Jean King, and it's, and I said it yesterday here because I think everyone here can get into this, but that pressure is a privilege, and I think that pressure must be persistent for you. Why is that a line I've heard you repeat, and why is it meaningful to you?
Well, it's so important, again, like this whole theme of women supporting women, and I think Billie Jean King is probably the ultimate example of that. So, she's always been so supportive from day one, not just of me, but I notice it of every single female, sports, non-sports, college with Title IX, everything that she did was really just mind-boggling. But she has this famous quote, and she says, pressure's a privilege.
Right.
And it's a really good way to put that, because I'm like, okay, every time I play, I have all this pressure on me to win, which is not easy. It's really not easy to go out there every day and it to be a much bigger story to lose than to win. And everyone, if I win, it's like, oh yeah, I was just gonna win anyway, or blah, blah, blah. And that's a lot. It's like, you have a company and every day you're expected to perform certain numbers. And so, but I realize that that's a privilege. I would love to have a company one day where if I perform numbers a little bit lower than what I would want, then I would, everyone would be shocked, and that's a good thing.
That's awesome.
And that it was a privilege to be in my situation, and it's also a way to take a lot of the pressure off yourself and then build yourself to be even greater. So for me, that's kind of how I looked at it, and again, just with her we're a girl network and women supporting women. It was, again, to learn so much more from Billy.
Well, I think that's such a cool, the concept of pressure is a privilege. I think we often think of like, I don't want the pressure, don't give me the pressure, and trying to defer it or get it off of us. And the idea that like, I'm feeling the pressure maybe because I want to be better, because there are, to your point, you're sort of probably one of the best examples of someone who's been expected to do great things. That's awesome.
Is that like our music cue?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we have to, yeah, because no one wants to see Serena Williams. But I think so having those expectations mean people think you're amazing. They mean that people expect a lot of you because they believe you can achieve a lot, not because, I mean, that is where the privilege, I think, is pretty, pushes us forward, you hope. It pushes us forward. And so I love that we're going to use that line a lot over the next couple of days, and you brought it to us through Billie Jean. So that's very cool as well. Moving to things you've learned from your mother. And that's, we all talk a lot in this community about our moms, good, bad, all the stories that kind of drive us, the things we reject, the things that we accept and emulate. And it seems that your mom's been, and your dad actually, there's lots of, there's so many great questions in there because of the passion of the parenting. But with your mom in particular, as you're thinking about having a child, what advice did she give you? What example did she give you that you want to carry forward?
Well, it's interesting because my mom has always been so strong for me, and she's been the woman that really is just literally unbreakable. And someone that I always look up to, and I think all our sisters look up to. So in the midst of having a child, it's like all of a sudden you start thinking of the lessons that your parents taught you, especially my mom, and you start thinking about like, oh, wow, what do I want to raise my kid as? And when you're young and you're growing up, you think your parents may be strict. Then you realize when you're older, you're like, could they have been a little stricter, or could they, should I have done this more? So you really start to appreciate that. And then, especially when you're starting a family yourself, it really is able to open up a lot more as well in your mind. It's like, gosh, well, this is what I want my son or my daughter to look like, and this is what I want my son or my daughter to do. And so I feel like all those lessons that she taught me of being so strong, of being proud of who I am, of being able to look anyone in the face and have confidence and speak with so much confidence is something that I really have been able to embrace, and I would love to teach my kid that.
That's awesome. I think they want to clap again. And what about from your dad? What kinds of lessons do you think? I saw so many great pieces of what appeared to be just a person who probably had very, very high expectations in probably that way of that the pressure is a privilege, which might be hard to understand when you're young, but but it seemed like there was a lot of good advice there, life lessons.
Yeah, I think there's so many. I don't know, we would need days to tap on it, but one thing that just stands out for me right now and today is just the discipline. I feel like right now, kids, grown-ups, teenagers, anyone really needs a lot of discipline. I mean, whether you're starting your own company, you need the discipline to do it every day, day in, day out. Athlete, you have to have that discipline every day to go to work, every single day. And I feel just as a person, being a good person, giving back to your community, being a part of philanthropy, supporting girls, supporting women, whatever you choose to do, it takes a lot of discipline. I feel like my dad was really able to give me so much discipline and structure in my life that it's something I never really thought about until a couple of days ago, really. And I just love that I'm still appreciating all the things that my parents are giving me.
That's awesome, and I think, there's a lot of class for that. I think that's amazing, and I think we could all take the advice that discipline is something we can exhibit in our daily lives, whether we are blogging for a living or
eating cupcakes.
Or eating cupcakes. I need to be disciplined about finishing them. I can't leave any of them behind. You want to consume them all. But I think discipline, absolutely, for kids, is something that you underappreciate. Because we're like, let them be who they're going to be, and let them. But you are probably doing them a disservice if you're not making them great and giving them the high expectations that have driven so much of probably your success. So we have a theme going on at this conference as well, which is, I'll explain it a little bit. It's called Advice to My 7th Grade Self, and it was inspired by 7th grade, you're 12. Okay. You're going into 7th grade. Your body's probably changing. You might hate your parents. You might be wondering if you like boys or if you like girls. You might be contemplating, whether academics really matter, sports matter, where to put your time. And it might be the lessons that sort of stay with you. And this is not, because I experienced 7th grade as a horrible thing, but maybe that is there. Or that I have a 12-year-old daughter, but it's something that we've all started talking about, our community of She Knows Media. And the lessons there can be so useful and so welcome to young girls. So if you were to say something to yourself at age 12, something you wouldn't have known at the time, something that would not, just maybe one thing, just what would you have told yourself?
So I have the most boring answer.
That's cool.
I'm so sorry, but I wouldn't tell myself anything.
That's actually cool.
Yeah, because I feel like everything that I've went through, bad, good, great,
right,
made me who I am today. And I probably wouldn't be sitting here if I had like a little cheat sheet of what to do.
That's great.
So, I just really feel like people kind of have to make mistakes.
Yep.
People have to fall because, like I always say, it's the greater you isn't how you fall, but it's how you get up and how you can become stronger after that. Do you just lie down and stay there, or do you get up and you dust yourself off and you become better? So I feel like I feel like it's really important to go through life's experiences, as hard as they are.
But see, I think that's the advice right there, which is amazing to hear, because that you don't get a roadmap.
And I would say invest. Put all your money
Invest. That's
in
good.
Facebook. That would be a little in Apple. But, other than that, I wouldn't say anything.
That would have been amazing to know when you were in 7th grade. God, Google, throw that in there.
Just throw everything in that.
But I think that the idea that you all will go through it all, and that understanding what's coming is probably going to take a lot of the magic away from the pain or the win. And had you known, you might not have. Had you known that you hit 23 on Grand Slams, would you have played differently, or would you have,
So you never know. So it's
never know.
best. They have this old adage. Well, in sci-fi movies, you can't talk to yourself if you travel in time.
Oh, interesting. Because it messes everything up. That's right.
It could change everything.
So this is a topic that is interesting to me personally, is your ability to, in so many of your matches, which I'm, been watching for a very long time, it looks like right when you're down is when you start to crush it, and when you get all this like focus and just energy and precision, and that might just be what I'm putting on it, but it seems like there's some kind of power that comes from being down for a sec. Is that legit?
Honestly, I don't know why. I hate to lose, and so I feel like if I'm
hashtag
down,
that, I hate to lose.
I feel like when I'm down, I give my final push.
Okay.
That's when you give another push to just come back and to do better. And so that's what I do. I just okay, Serena, try this. All right. If something's not working, I change it. If that's not working, I try to change it again. So I just always try new things, and I usually know I can play better. I know I can do better, and I'm like, okay, Serena, you got to do better. And the fact that I hate losing so much really inspires me to try to do more and to play harder and to be better.
That's awesome, and I think that so many of us start to fall apart. I think when we're down, it allows you to start to see the bottom, or to and there's so many great metaphors in sports. And when you're down, I think one of the fact that you can come back stronger from any moment of I don't know what might be insecurity for the rest of us, but you seem to use it productively.
Well, everyone's different.
Yeah.
I mean, other people don't need to get down sometimes.
Right.
I feel like I almost need to get down to get up. And everyone's a little different. Also, so it just depends on that and on who you are.
And how you use it, probably, yeah. And then I think the element of anger that you might feel if you're down, and the ability to say, I should be winning this. Like I am stronger than this.
Exactly.
And I think that that's something we can all take a note from, because it is one of the more powerful lessons. So now back to, because we do want to wrap on a note that acknowledges how epic and amazing your commitment is to making the world a better place, making the world something that your offspring will be proud of, something that you've touched and improved. And the work with Purple Purse is something we all can look at and understand as a commitment to make change and to raise awareness for something that is not understood. So when you think about issues in the world that require awareness, that need to be made more visible to people, are there things that occur to you in general?
Like, what do you mean?
Okay, like things like, okay, that's a good to push me on that. Pressure is a privilege. I think, okay, so I mean, I see, because I sit in the room at a conference and see that there are no women, or that there are no women of color, or that there are no people over 50. I see that, and it's something I see in the specific view I have. You live in a certain world in sports, and you get to see all different views that might not be available to everybody. Are there any things that you see that you think could be addressed more productively?
Yeah, absolutely. Just even what you said is something that really can be addressed. Seeing, women represented more and higher, just not only nationally, but internationally, because I travel international, and I've sat with the heads of so many people, and there's usually not a single woman or person of color in there. And so I think that's something that really can be addressed on a global scale. And also just sticking up for one another. In particular, women. I feel like women do stick up for one another and not get enough credit for it.
That's a great point. We're often seen as like
and
fighting each other.
It's not true. And I play with only women, and I go to the locker room and I see a lot of them just camaraderie. They go, we all hang out, and it's like one big family. And so I feel like spreading it to the next generation that it's okay to love and okay to be really friendly and okay to be competitive at the same time is something that I would love to see a little bit more as well.
And I think the ability to compete is one that, and then to be best friends afterwards.
Yeah.
After the handshake, you're best friends.
Exactly.
That's something that we all can admire. Well, so I think we have to wrap, but we want to just, amazing appreciation for everything you've done for women, everything you're doing for women in so many different vertical areas of society. There's sports, there's business, there's family, embracing your colleagues and your competitors. We, I think, all really want to thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oops. Okay.